Hello, folks. If anybody's out there, let me make some adjustments here that I should have made to begin with. Oh, folks. If anybody's out there, let me make some adjustments here that I should have made to begin with. Oh, folks. If anybody's It says there's 2 people watching. Good morning. Welcome to my stream. I got my coffee. RDFPV. Welcome to the stream. You're the first one, bud. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing today, buddy? It was cloudy this morning when we did the sunrise stream. It was cloudy, so we didn't get any sun, but I went up anyway. And then I came down, and now it peeks out from behind the clouds every now and then. Exploration Obsession he just got done doing his sunrise stream, and he did get a sunrise, and it was kind of cool. It just looked like an orange ball because the haze was just filtering it out, and it just looked like an orange ball. So it was pretty awesome looking. He wasn't feeling well, but he got up early anyway, and he got his bird up in the air, and he was a real trooper. He is also the reason why he's not feeling well. He got bit by a brown recluse spider. RDFPV, I'm doing great, buddy. Glad you're doing well too. Destinations Chronicles, good morning. How are you today? Welcome to the stream. Glad you came in. I didn't have your bell checked. Destination Chronicles. So anyway, like I said, welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. So what you all got planned for this morning? Whiz bang. Good morning. Good morning. No problem, buddy. There wasn't much of a sunrise anyway. You really didn't miss anything but a bunch of clouds with an slight orange glow. Yeah, you missed the birds chirping. That's always cool. But then of course you had me droning on, and with my Oklahoma monotone, but no worries, buddy. Miko Ghost, welcome to the stream. Nature's Beauty, welcome, welcome. Trevor, good morning, my friend. I'm going to do something a little different today, I think. If you want to join the chat, if you want to be on the panel, and I'm going to try and limit it. I mean, I don't want to get too many people on here, but I do want to get people on here. So, but I don't know. I think that might work. If you want to join the panel, then feel free to do so. Cool, Manic. Hope you like them, Trevor. The sunrise streams this morning, kind of messed things up in the beginning. So the first stream only lasted about a little under 3 minutes, and then I finally got it going. Mrs. RC, good morning. How are you today? Hope all is well with everybody. Let's see, RDFPV. I don't know that I'll be flying today. I'm taking care of my grandson today. My wife is working, and his father is off camping this weekend, so I got to kind of keep an eye on him, and he's kind of lost his interest in droning, and he wants to do a gaming YouTube channel, but so but anyway, sorry folks, sorry about that, unintentional. Let's see. Okay, Tiff, I'll look at my email. I did see that you emailed me back yesterday. So it looks like we got Trevor in the house now.
How you going, Rodney? How you going, folks in the chat?
I'm doing good, Trevor. How about yourself, brother?
I'm going well, very well.
So anyway, I don't know if I know I think a couple of you saw Exploration Obsessions morning sunrise video. He got bit by a brown recluse, and
is that a snake?
No, that is actually a spider. A very between that and the black widow, there's the two most poisonous spiders in the United States.
Okay, yeah, we got some nasty spiders here.
Oh yeah, the trapdoor spider is pretty nasty, I hear.
We've got red bat. We've got funnel web. We've got white tip spider, which gives you a flesh-eating ulcer when it bites you, or if you hit it on your body somewhere. So the actual the body fluid that comes out when you squat it or squash it will bleed out fluid as well to give you a flesh-eating ulcer.
Yeah. The brown recluse causes it develops a hole in your torso, and you gotta watch out for those guys. I mean, I don't unless you're allergic to the venom, I don't think they'll kill you. So, but between those and the black widow spiders, they can get pretty hairy.
Yeah, some here cause paralysis, or they cause damage to the nervous system.
Yeah. So Chris Hope has just joined the chat. Chris, if you want to come in, I posted a link in the chat. You're welcome to come in. Mrs. RC, if you'd like to come in, you're welcome to. Any of you guys can come in. We're just gonna have a general discussion. We talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, last week we were talking. I think there were some people talking about Da Vinci, the Da Vinci video editor, which I have decided to try. So
I have a version of that as well. I need the free version.
yeah, I got the free version too. So I don't know that I would spend as much money they want unless I knew how to operate it well to begin with. So free
I
version.
have hit film as well, which Nay endorses. Part of his videos. He recommends that. I use that as well. That's great. I've used Flamora as well.
Yeah, I have that one as well too.
I mix it up. I try a lot of other stuff as well.
Well, I've been using primarily Premiere Elements because back when I was married to my third wife, we were doing wedding videography, and that's what we used Premiere Pro for that. So I'm somewhat familiar with it, but the Elements doesn't give you all the functions that the Pro does. So I want to try other stuff.
Ice water.
So anyway, so how's things in your side of the world, Trevor?
Yesterday and the day before, we had very rainy weather and stormy and cold, and it was miserable. Today, absolute beautiful weather, perfect, clear skies, a sunny, not much wind, just
Cool.
a nice little breeze.
You gonna get out and do any flying?
I wish to tomorrow, which will be tomorrow morning after.
Yeah. I don't know that I'll be able to do any flying today. I was telling RDFPV that he asked me if I was going to be doing any flying today, and I don't know. I've got my grandson. It's just me and him here today. My wife's working, and his dad is off camping, and so I'm not sure what we're going to be doing today. Everybody remember Tai Tai. Look, Tai Tai, say hi to the folks.
Hi, Tai Tai.
Tai Tai, look. Look. She's doing what cats do best, ignoring everybody.
We used to whistle to our cats like that, and they used to come running from everywhere. That meant food time.
So, well, we had some thunderstorms come through last night. For us, they were mild. The actual center of the storm was several miles from where we're at, but we definitely caught some of the rain. So heard some of the thunder and saw some of the lightning, but nothing like what the Midwestern part of the United States is getting. I feel for those guys. That's where Exploration Obsession, he lives in Branson, Missouri. And when he was doing his sunrise video stream this morning, he was showing us some of the damage to his neighbor's house, man. It looks like people have been shooting at it from all the hailstones. I guess they had a tornado go through that area. So there were trees down and everything. And but anyway, I'm going to post the link to Google Hangouts again. If anybody wants to join, feel free to do so. I know it's early morning and most people probably aren't even out of their jammies yet.
It's 9:30 p.m. here.
Well,
I had a bit of a nap in the afternoon. That's why I missed your sunrises.
Okay.
Because I had the alarm set for your chat for 9:30 here.
Okay, cool. So Chris Hope is saying that they had tornadoes north of him, and he lives in Texas. And Texas is a part of Tornado Alley as well. So I grew up in Oklahoma, and I can remember hearing the sirens go off when I was a kid and kind of ducking for cover and stuff. But anyway, so those tornadoes can get pretty nasty.
Yeah. Where I live, I'm so relieved that we don't have a regular violent activity like you do there in the Tornado Alley. We have some pretty bad winds and that, but nothing like that here.
Oh wow, Whizbang 99 saying that his lake is now 54 feet into the yards. Wow, now that's some serious flooding there.
Mm.
That's serious flooding. Of course, Muskogee, Oklahoma, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, that area around there is flooding out pretty bad too. Most of you know Lloyd Mendenhall. He lives there in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and they had some heavy flooding past couple of weeks too. Oh wow, $1 million home sitting in water. Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
In the last couple of weeks, he's been posting videos of this submarine that they've got as a memorial. And it's been rising and drifting, and now it's floating away a bit. Other than it's got cables to keep it from floating too far. But we're only joking about it a couple of weeks ago before we knew that they were going to have some major storm activity, and it was sort of like the joke. But I sort of regret that now, seeing the footage that he sent on his show.
What's that noise? Did you hear that?
That could have been a notification saying I got videos.
Oh.
I can see if I can turn that down.
So Chris Hope is telling us that Fort Smith is getting the flooding waters now, and it's moving down towards the Mississippi. I did read that part that the Mississippi was beginning to rise already, and that was last week. No, that was about Monday or Tuesday. I read that. So, all right, Mrs. RC. All right, Mrs. RC, you have a good one.
Bye,
You're probably pretty busy, so we'll talk to you later.
She's always a very busy woman.
Yeah. Matt, I think you saw my text. Sorry you can't stay, buddy, but I wish you a good night, and we'll catch you next time. So let me ask Chris Hope. Chris, are you getting any effects of this flooding in your area of Texas? So Trevor, how's your redneck channel going?
That's on hold at the moment, but now Farmer might have a little bit of time. He's on summer holidays because he's involved in it. That's JT Farmer, Colorado Farmer.
Oh, okay.
And that's a joint channel. And at the moment, we've just been doing a few videos here and there. But we'll regroup and see what we're going to do and what time, because his grandfather's taken on more land because he works his grandfather's land, because in Colorado, the government have bought up some land of owners that have gone bankrupt. So what they do is they bill it out certain areas and allow people to, farmers that already got farmland and that are using their farmland, to utilize the land for a profit. So to keep the weed situation down, because the ones that have sold their land back because they've gone bankruptcy, the weed situation gets enormous, that the other farmers get affected by it. So instead of allowing it to the land to be ruined, because weeds over time can ruin the land completely, they hand it out to certain people, other farmers, which is good. It helps everyone,
Okay.
but it makes more work for everyone. But that's good.
Yeah.
If his YouTube channel gets neglected, that's a good thing. Because now he's actually earning more money. He's been working flat out trying to get corn put in and all sorts of things, and doing harvests of different sorts, and
Yeah.
and it gives him more content too, because he's filming a lot of stuff on his channel.
Yeah, I haven't been to his channel recently. I need to. There's a lot of channels I haven't been able to get to yet, but
Oh, it's the same for everyone, isn't it, Rodney?
oh man, it's a full-time job.
Yeah, you just got to spread yourself around thinner. That's all.
So,
He's starting to do some really good little videos between me, myself, and him. We team together and try to better ourselves and learn little tips off of each other, and so we can create a better YouTube channel overall.
yeah. Well, do you do any farming on your land? On your land?
No, I don't have farming land anymore.
Oh, okay.
I used to. So, but once a farmer, you never get out of it. You're always interested because that's what your life has always been. And yeah, you just don't. It's part of your life, regardless.
Oh yeah, yeah. So my I had an aunt and uncle that had a 140 acre, I guess you'd call it a ranch. It was a dairy farm, and they'd grow, and Uncle Clint would grow some wheat and stuff, but mostly their main product was dairy product. And he taught me how to milk a cow, something I haven't done in years. So I was probably 11 and 12 at the time. So
Yeah, I was originally a dairy hand as soon as I was able to work. I used to work for other dairy owners too after school. And so that was one of my activities, as well as doing seasonal work for fruit block pickers and owners.
well, here we are. You know what, Trevor? I think I'm gonna call this one early.
No worries. Anyone in chat, or are they all gone?
Well, right now I don't think there's. I think there's. There's 6 people watching. At least that's what YouTube is saying. I know. I think Whizbang is still here. I think Mrs. RC had to drop out. I think Chris Hope is still here. Maybe we could convince Chris to come on, liven up the stream. Chris, how about it? You want to join us? How about you, Whizbang?
Yeah, I haven't met Whizbang.
I don't think. Okay. Well, Matt North just popped in.
Hey, how are you?
Aussie, how you going, Matt North?
I,
How are you? Sorry, I
I
just
thought you
thought
were
I'd
going to
pop in.
call it an early evening.
I am, mate. I am. I've got my daughter here, and we were watching a movie and what have you.
Aussie.
Hey, oh yeah, I actually, I was going to catch up with you, wasn't I, when I was down with Oz Beach? But
That's right, yeah. I
yeah,
live up in the Riverland.
that's right. Yeah, and I was up there, Blanchetown,
I'm a
and
friend
all
of
up there.
Andy's there.
Yeah, that's right.
He's from Adelaide, or well, south of Adelaide.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He just got in contact with me just after I'd actually left the Riverland.
Yeah, that's
So
when I
that was a
caught
bit of a
up with your
bugger.
videos, you see. And
Yeah, okay.
then I noticed, hang on, I could have caught up with you down South Oz.
You could have, mate. You could have. Next time I'm down there, we'll have to do something for sure. Maybe all three of us can rip up
Yeah,
there and
that's
do
right.
some.
That'd be great.
Yeah. That'd be good, mate. That'd be awesome. But I did get on because as some of you know anyway, I got that the Mavic Pro, and I put the those noise reduction props on, and they're absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong. And I didn't know what was going on with this thing because the gimbal was actually going as I was flying really fast. It did it a couple of times, then it stopped doing it. And as soon as it starts to get a little bit unstable, the gimbal would go like this again. And I thought, oh, the gimbal's stuffed, my camera's stuffed. So I actually just did a little search on YouTube, and it was actually the gain settings because the Mavic Pro isn't tuned to the low noise props. So I just thought I'd share that information with you that you knock the gains down and knock the gains to 89, 89, 89 and 100.
That's
And
what I had to do with my Phantom.
There you go.
Operation as well.
Yeah, unbelievable, mate. And this thing now is because I wasn't happy with the way it was flying. And this thing now is rock solid, man. Unbelievable. The gimbal's perfect because I was out flying the other day, yesterday, and the footage, you could see it, bit of jello. I'm thinking, oh, this is no good. So anyway, but I just thought I would share some of that because it's an easy fix, but it took a little bit of research to find out what it was. But awesome stuff, mate.
So really. when can we expect the tutorial?
I don't do any Phantom tutorials.
You should do, mate. I really should do something like that because that's quite useful information for someone who does change props and does have an issue. Maybe, I mean, I didn't have an issue all the time. It happened twice the other week when I went out and did that Springfield video I did, but it stopped, so it wasn't really working. It seemed to happen because it was really windy where I was down near up here down near the beach up here in Queensland, and it was pretty windy and cold that morning. And I put the Spark up, and that was absolutely sensational. And then I put the Pro up, and this I had to hang on to it, man. It was all over the place. So and this gimbal, but so anyway, that's fixed now. So anyway, I thought that was a bit of useful info for anybody who might be listening. So that's a good thing.
Well, good deal. I'm glad you popped in.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. No, we had a good chat last week, didn't we? And
We did.
I did actually download DaVinci that Mark suggested, and I did have a little bit of a play with it. Made a small movie, small vid, just to check out some of the features and what have you. And I'll tell you what, when I'm running 4K in Premiere Elements 18. As I said, as soon as I start touching it with color grading and things like that, the computer starts to chunk along, and to do playback within that program becomes very difficult, especially with transitions and things like that. Now, I did put a lot of transitions and a lot of color grading, etc., within DaVinci, and this thing just played it back like eating butter. It was unbelievable, mate, and I'm telling you, it is a really good program. Really good program.
I did a short video too, and when I I must have selected the wrong format, because when I created the final video, right, it was like it was oversized on the screen. So
Okay, yeah.
you couldn't see any of my titles, so I'm still playing with that.
Yeah, I think it'll be a steep learning curve, that's for sure. Basically, because it's got a lot of the same features plus more, but we just have to learn where they are within the program. And once we learn where they are, just like we did with Premiere, the whole process will be a lot better. I did find that with the rendered video that I did do, I wasn't happy with some of the picture quality of it. Now, obviously, I did muck around a lot with Premiere to get the spark footage up to what I want it to be, and the same I think is going to be with DaVinci. But apparently, there's 3D models you can do, 3D graphics, all that sort of thing, all within that free version. I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to be playing around with that.
Oh, me too. You can also create motion titles and stuff and I was working on that yesterday. So I'm going to learn that, because it really looks like it's going to be a good editing program.
Oh, absolutely, mate. With a lot more to offer than what we've got.
Yeah.
Because you've got the 19 now, but yeah, a lot better for when it comes to effects and things like that. And as you say, rolling titles and things. And I mean, Mark's got his footage behind. Chris, how are you, mate? Hey, 19.
What's up, Matt?
Hey, Chris.
Better for
What's up, Rodney?
when it comes to effects and things like that. And as you say, rolling titles. Yeah, so yeah, Mark's got that. Mark's got those videos behind his logo now. That looks pretty cool. So yeah, be checking out stuff like that.
Have you got the feedback of you, Chris, or is that finished now?
No,
Yeah, that was Chris.
Yeah, finished now.
Yeah, that coffee hadn't kicked in yet, and I didn't hit the mute button.
Yeah, that's okay. We all do that from time to time, don't we?
Should have made it a double, Chris.
I've done doubled it. If I double it again, I'll have to get up and go back to the bathroom.
Mate, you'll be up for 2 days. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just popped in for a little bit, mate, because I was just sharing a little bit of info about my Mavic Pro with the gimbal on it. It was shaking about all over the place, and it turned out the fact that the Mavic Pro wasn't tuned to the low noise props that I'd put on there. So I've tuned it now, and it's absolutely fine. But it had me a little bit worried, to be honest. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little bit of simple fix. If anyone had a pro out there and who was listening or whatever, and they're having a problem or come across the problem, then there's an easy fix for it.
I have fooled around and waited too long to buy a drone. I've had my Phantom 4 for almost 3 years, and I waited for the Phantom 4. I waited for the Phantom 5 like a lot of other guys.
Hey, guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Right, Rodney.
All right, Rodney. And I'm just going to stay with my 4 for a while. I'm not into the Phantom. I'm not into the Mavics yet. I can't make myself go get one. They look great.
I love my Phantom 4, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the tide for a while.
Yeah, well, I was interested to see what DJI was going to do this year, and by all accounts, it isn't much by the looks of things, as cancelling the 5 line and what have you.
Yeah.
I was expecting, and I was going to wait to see what they were going to do with the Spark, and I heard that they were going to bring one out sort of in between the Spark and the Mavic Pro. Obviously, the size and all that sort of biz, they would have been around about what not the Mavic Pro, the Mavic Air, sorry. It would have been around about the size, maybe a little bit bigger than the current Spark, probably foldable, 4K, all that sort of biz. And I was just waiting to see if they were going to bring this out. And oh, look, I don't think that's going to be happening. So I just went out and got the bloody Pro.
Right. I like there's been 4 or 5 guys preview the X Dynamics, the carbon fiber drone.
Yeah.
I think that looks really cool. It's got Boy, it looks like it's got a long ways to go before it catches the Phantom, but it's a neat looking drone, and I don't know why I kind of like the bigger drone for some reason.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, because the little ones are a whole lot easier to tote around.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. Yeah,
and
exactly
I was
right.
impressed when he came back onto Ken Heron's show, the guy that's manufacturing it.
Right.
Because it's like when I had the pizza shop, if there was any issues with any customers, I used to go and sort it out straight away and see what I could do to correct anything. You own it. That's what the first thing in sales, especially when it affects you personally. Well, he did it the same thing. He got onto Ken Heron's show when they had problems with the props and did his research and that. And I like the honesty that the guy had when it comes to the new drones that he was promoting. It was quite good. Just the honesty and answering any questions.
Oh yeah, he seemed like a straight up guy to me. I mean,
Yeah, I believe so too. I think it's great.
it's just a new product, and I guess he's trying to just get it out there where everybody can see it. And I'm sure they'll tune it up. I mean, for
Yeah,
$2,500, he's gonna have to tune it up.
that's right.
Hey guys, let me interrupt the conversation for a minute. I want to say hi to some people that just joined the chat. Nick Mad, good morning. Dirty D's, good morning to you, sir.
There you
Old
go.
guy in a drone, good morning. Mason Kiefer, how are you doing today, buddy? Let's see who else. Exploration Obsession, Les. Hope you get to feeling better, buddy. You were a trooper today doing that live stream, given the circumstances. So, Nacho Rolling, good morning. Good morning. He just jumped in.
How you going, Nacho?
So, all right, carry on.
There was there was I was looking at moving away from DJI, and I did look at the Anafi and a few other drones, and the only thing that turned me away from any other drone was the field of view that I was getting from the camera. It was too wide, and to me, if you're going to be up in the air, you don't want something looking GoPro-ish.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was just too wide. And I like the field of view that the DJI has got, you know. So I did look around for you know, as I said, other alternatives, but that was it.
You talking about the GoPro? I watched Kelly Shores put a video out yesterday. He hung the new Osmo Action on the bottom of his Phantom 1. It took a really great video. I mean, really, it never shook. The electronic stabilization was sweet. It was a great video. I mean, he flew the crap out of that drone, and the video was just solid.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna have to watch that video.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Not bad at all.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. That's awesome. Well, it's a Phantom series drone, you know. It's the Phantoms have been good all the way through, and they've just improved and improved, especially with the cameras too. They've got better and better. I mean, you know, that you'd expect it to for a drone price like that. You can't go past the camera on them, you know. It's spectacular footage. From
why I've hung with the Phantom 4.
Yeah. I think that's probably the reason why I haven't bought the Mavic yet. I mean, I bought the P4P, and I love the drone, so I will admit that it would be nice to have the zoom, the Mavic Zoom, maybe, but for right now, I'll stick with the P4P.
The only thing with the Mavic Pro and the zoom is you've got to be so gentle with it when it comes to the gimbal. Oh mate, it just looks like it's going to fall off it every time you pick it up.
Yeah.
It's one of these things, and any bumps and what's this, you know, heavier than normal. Oh, well, what's a normal bump? But it can dislodge it from the back, and you'll get all sorts of gimbal shake and all sorts of stuff. So, and the little rubber bands that hold it all in there, to me, and I'm just used to the Spark camera, and the Air's the same. It's very similar to the Spark, and I put the gimbal cover on, piece of cake, and this Pro here, this gimbal's flying all over the place, and I'm trying to slip this thing up the back. Oh, it's a pain in the butt. But it does take good footage. Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, admittedly, I've only mucked around with it once or twice. But at this stage, I think I can work with it, and I won't move to a more professional camera like the Mavic Pro 2 until I can get my head around apertures and all that sort of thing, because I'm not a photographer, It's not my background.
Me neither.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just learning it as I go.
It's all auto for me.
Yeah, there you go, mate. Yeah. Well, I do fly mine in manual, and I always do. I've flown the manual in Spark 99% of the time. That's the only way I'm going to get any sort of decent footage from it. But that's mainly just shutter speed. Leave the ISO alone. But when the Pro's very similar, although it is, as I've said in previous times, that it's very unforgiving when it comes to your shutter speeds and your movements. And gimbal up and down movements. You've got to be so precise with your shutters, otherwise you get flutter all the way through it. And you get a three-axis gimbal for a reason, so you can get a nice smooth yaw. And if you don't get your shutters right, you're gonna have jitter all the way through it, which is a bit of a bugger.
Right.
So Mason Keiser just put into the chat that some of you may know he had his Spark fly away from him, and I guess he was able to prove that it was a DJI issue, and they're giving him a brand new Spark.
Wow.
And a battery and 2 sets of props.
I wonder what
That'd
happened.
be great. That's great. They're doing that, though.
You usually got to hand your drone in, eh?
Evidently, they're doing some better things, because you've got, what's his name, Rolex over in Ireland, and he had to do a deal with them when he had issues, and it proved that it was a flyaway, and he got dunked in the ocean, and they gave him everything that he wanted back. But he had to sign a disclaimer, or whatever the term may be, that he's not going to discuss it on his channel of what the deal they enclosed.
Okay.
But they were able to, and he couldn't retrieve his drone because it was in the ocean, and they gave him everything back that he needed.
Well, what are these flyaways? What's causing them? They've obviously set home points and what have you, but they're flying away. Well, what's the go?
I'm not sure exactly. He couldn't discuss it because DJI made a deal that they would do everything without him actually giving a video out to discuss what the situation was in the end.
Okay. It's a pity, because I'd like to know why they're flying away. I have heard it in the past. I haven't had an issue whatsoever with mine. And when it comes to precise landing, I mean, this thing's incredible, the little bugger. But I have heard about flyaways, and I've always thought, oh, well, they didn't set their home point, or they've done something wrong, or they've lost connection, and they haven't got their return to home set properly, and it's just going to either land, number one, which was a case a couple of weeks ago here in Australia. A girl, first flight out, she didn't go through any of her settings, and she had returned to home at current altitude, and instead of doing that, because it's past its 20-meter mark, it just went into auto land, and down over the mountain it went. So that's what you call pilot error. But this is what I want to know, with experienced people out there who have been flying these things. It's just a software error.
Yeah, I think that usually is what happens. I mean, nothing's foolproof. Nothing's foolproof, and these things. I mean, I've heard of people having their P3 standards and their P4Ps doing flyaways.
Wow.
I mean, it just happens, and that's why it's important to record your flight data. So
Yes, that's right. That's the only reason is thank God for the flight data that they were able to come to an agreement so early, and without any hesitation, DGI come to the party and sorted it out for him. He does a very similar channel to Andy Drones over there over in Adelaide here in Australia, and he chases some ocean liners out there in the water. He knows the distance that they are away, so he knows he calculates wind speed and all the rest of it for his return home. He did everything right, and that's why DGI said come to the party so quickly.
Who was that?
Rolex over in Ireland, he is.
Oh, I thought you were talking about someone in Australia.
No,
Like,
yeah, but he's a very similar channel to what Andy is.
Ausbeach, okay.
Speech, very similar channel.
Yeah, well, I know he flies bebops. He's had bebops for a while. Not
So
Andy.
is Rolex, yes, as well.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, Andy only ever flies his Phantom 3.
Yeah, that's right.
But I knew that I watch Rolex every now and again when it pops up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
he does comparisons to his DGI products, and he favours his bebops.
He does, absolutely.
He loves them.
He does, and he was very upset when they were discontinuing it too.
That's exactly. I watched those vids.
Yeah. Almost had to send him a box of tissues through the mail.
He gets very emotional, doesn't he?
He does. He does indeed. Yeah.
I reckon he sleeps with these drones too.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, mate. Come on.
No, that's why I had my second channel. Can you remember my second channel was I Love My Blow Up Drone?
Blow up drone, yeah, I do. Yeah. That's how I was first introduced to you, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's
It was
funny.
just something that was quirky. That's why I made my second channel that.
Yeah, no, that's right, mate. Yep. And there is actually video evidence of me in bed with my spark. Anyway, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, I remember that video. You coming clean.
Yeah. Oh, that was the second one. Yes. That was
so funny.
That's when I just bought the Mavic. Yeah, the Spark was getting a little bit jealous. Too jealous. And then it sprung me on a date, and then I was on eBay, and it sprung me on the internet looking at eBay. And it's a bit of fun, eh? Bit of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But I really must roll, fellas. It's been absolutely fantastic catching up with everyone again.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, buddy.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. No, good on
Matt?
this. I hope to catch you next Saturday, eh?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for stopping in today.
Yeah, no worries.
Appreciate it. Always a
No.
pleasure. Look for you next Saturday.
Shall do, mate. Shall do. I shall pop my head in. Don't worry about that.
All right. My regards to your daughter and enjoy the rest of the movie.
No worries. Shall do. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you a bit later.
Have a good one, Matt. Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Manic, can I ask you what your first name is? I'm so sorry.
Trevor. You can call me Trevor or Manic. Your choice.
Trevor. All right, man. I didn't want to call you something you wasn't used to.
I get called lots of things here. Us Australians, we're a bit of a fun bunch, so we'll call each other anything.
I mean, that's what I usually say. I've been called names in 13 different languages, so you know.
Yeah, I just don't want to be called by my first name and my middle name because I think my mother's after me then.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But you know, here for the past couple of weeks, that's pretty much been a topic with me and some of the people at work that I work with. I was telling them that when I was younger, when I was a kid, I always knew when my mom was mad at me because she would go, Rodney Lee.
Yeah, oh, it's Christopher Dan. Get your you know what in here right now. I said, oh God, here we go again. Another killing.
Yep.
I I probably got about 50 lifetimes. I know she run through 49 of them when I was a little old boy. Hey,
Yeah.
Paul Murray. Good morning,
Paul
sir.
Murray.
How you going, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
Hey, I tell you what, Paul's got a great location to film stuff, man. That water and them boats and them ships, it's just.
Oh, he is good at that. I enjoy watching him do that.
I do too. It's
I
sweet.
just love Paul as a package. He's a really nice guy, really good videos. He knows a lot about droning. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I think those brownies help him.
I think it must be some form of energy for his droning and his personality.
He's probably up there where they can put what they want in the brownies.
Yeah.
Probably so. That's what I'm thinking.
I asked him one day. I was glad that I didn't offend him. I says, because he is so funny. I said, Paul, you don't happen to drink, do you? And he says, no. He was hesitating. He says, I don't really drink much, Trevor. I said, no, I say this in a positive way. As I said, man, if you drank, you would be a life of the party. Some of the things you come out with. You don't need to drink, buddy, I said. I'm glad I didn't offend him too much.
I feel like Paul's got pretty thick hide. I think he's all right.
Yeah, he's a pretty good old boy.
Yeah.
My cat, I think she was going to do some maintenance on the P4P.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Paul, I put a link to the Hangouts in there. If you want to join us, feel free to do so. He says we're going to make him blush. I find that hard to believe, but if we did make him blush, just think, man, we'd be famous.
As long as his pressure cooker doesn't get jealous, it's okay.
But we need to get him on the panel so when he does blush, we can see it.
That's right. And it's filmed.
Yeah.
So we may be able to use it for further footage.
Need copies of it.
Yes. Make a prodigy of it, a fun video.
And Nature's Beauty, she's from the UK, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, she's from Wales, I believe.
Wales, I got you. She's got that accent.
Well, I think all of us on the panel have an accent too.
I know mine's horrible.
I love your accent. I think it's great. I think it's got a lot of timber in it.
It's got a lot of something in it.
Yeah, Chris, you got that Texas accent.
Yeah, I like it.
You get about 4 or 5 Coors Lights in me, and it really goes crazy.
Oh man, my brother. I mean, I think I lost my Oklahoma accent when I joined the Navy. But my brother, you talk about an accent.
Yeah.
Chris, his accent is so bad it makes you sound like you're with the upper class.
No, I tell you what, I love all accents. Southern accents, even the Asian accents, they're hard to. I have to really pay attention on some people, but it's just cool to hear all the different accents there is in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of all this.
Yeah, the northern accents in the United States is they're more precise, I guess. The way they say their words, they don't round them off like I do.
See, I get a lot of people answer my my subscriptions here on YouTube, not for my content or anything else. They watch me just for my accent. Some of them do in America and different places. And I'm thinking, gee, that's pretty lousy. But to myself personally, I think, my content, I think, hopefully is a little bit better than my accent.
Hey,
right.
Hey, Chris.
I will say that.
Sonia is not from Wales. She's from the South Coast near Brighton,
Okay.
England.
You know what, Rodney? I'd have to get on Google Earth and type that in to find out even where that's even at.
Me too.
I can find my way around Texas. I'm lost when I get across.
I I think I know where Wells is.
Hang on, Paul.
Paul. Okay, here we go.
It's across the pond.
Yeah, it's across the pond.
Hey, how's your pressure cooker there, Paul?
I got-
There's your
Oh,
thing.
he's got his brownies.
I got a fresh batch.
A
Wow.
fresh batch of brownies.
Hey, Paul, that label's wrong, man. It says 2-bite brownies. That'd be one here at my house.
Yes.
How you today, sir?
I'm doing okay. I was up late last night, and then Michael Philly Drone Life woke me up very early because today's his balloon flight. I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but he was on live this morning from up in the balloon.
Yeah,
Well,
I caught the tail end of it and then watched the after it posted.
The rerun.
I've got to do the rerun as well. I've
Yeah.
got it on my notifications.
He was sure excited, man. I bet,
Oh,
you know, he's exciting at any time, but he was supercharged this morning.
yeah. And I had messaged him a couple times, Michael, you got to turn your phone sideways so we get, portrait view, not portrait view, but landscape. And
Yeah, that's right.
and he tried to do that and it wouldn't switch over. So something in his settings isn't right because he's using a high-end phone. He should be able to go into one of those gimbals and do that,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm. I did that one day on a live stream that I did down here by the lake, and I had it in portrait mode, and I wanted to try to get back into landscape mode, but it wouldn't let me do it after I had picked the stream. I had to go back in the settings afterwards.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because he said when he did that, his screen went black and
Yes,
said
mine did the same.
change your phone positioning.
It just wouldn't allow it to rotate.
Yeah,
Hey, Paul, I got a question for you.
sure.
You did a ship the other day, or I think it was yesterday, maybe, that had 3 cranes on the side.
Yep.
That is the weirdest looking ship I've ever seen.
There's more and more out there, Rodney. Those are, of course, we call them salties because they're ocean going.
Oh, okay.
And they have their own cranes because they can put into ports around the world that may not be as sophisticated, where all they have is a dock, and they can load and unload themselves.
I got you. I was looking at the way it was structured because all 3 of the cranes were right down the port side of the ship.
Yep. Yep.
And
They've got special tanks in there so they can balance if they're lifting loads or whatever.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we
That's
live
what
in
I was curious about.
we live in an electronic era, when it's like they start putting a strain on it and all of a sudden them big pumps kick in and just, keep it from foundering. But yeah, there's lots of those come by here, different brands. That's a worldwide company called Wagenborg, and the actual name of that ship that you saw yesterday was Alamos Borg by Wagenborg. So I'm guessing that it's someplace around the Netherlands.
Yes, I thought so too.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be.
But they have a lot of those. Wagenborg has a lot of ships like that, and there's federal ships. Or some of them are the same way as well. And they're the ones that are kind of a really light pale yellow and red. But yeah, I as you guys mentioned, I am just truly blessed to be here. I'm only a mile away in that direction from the bridge, and I just get down there and fly.
So, do you go down? Because I've always tried to look for you, which it's hard to do when you can't.
Yeah.
When you're that far out, but are you right there at Waterside or?
Yes.
Okay.
Look for a white Tahoe with a big fat guy standing next to it. That'd be me.
Okay, I'll do that on the next one.
And usually, what I do, Rodney, is if I'm filming upbound ships. I'm north of the bridge. There's 2 parking lots, and I take the furthest one out towards the lake. And because I want to get it coming up underneath the bridge. And if it's downbound ship, I'm like to the 3rd parking lot south of the bridge, right on where the river kind of angles and curves back a little bit. And I fly up and catch them and do my flight around and that kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah, I love the way you do that. I would love to be able to do that. So when you first started doing that, how many drones did you lose?
None. I've never lost a drone.
Never lost a drone, huh?
No. And everybody say maybe I'm a big fan of DJI, but I'm not a fixer. There's some guys that like to fix them. There's some guys that like to tinker with them, and I'm not. I'm a flyer. So when I fly, that darn thing better go up in the air when I want it to, do what I want it to, and come back and land as I want it to. Because I don't want to tinker and says, well, I need to fix this or fix that, or it's not quite working this way or that way. That was the problem I had with my big Inspires. From the Inspire 1s to the Inspire 2, they're all using the old light bridge. And light bridge is great if you don't have a lot of electronic interference in the area.
Correct.
But what I found was now that everybody has Wi-Fi in cars have Wi-Fi, everybody's got 2 or 3 devices on them. They got Wi-Fi wristwatches. I mean, there's that bubble of Wi-Fi has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, so that when I would take off my Inspire and go out there in the river, I'd get like maybe 1,000 feet, and all of a sudden I might not lose the drone, but I'd lose the ability to see the downlink on the video. And what good is that when you're doing video?
Yeah, really.
So since then, I went to the Mavic, and the Mavic had the Aquasync 1, which was much better. And then it got a little bit glitchy, not as bad, but the Aquasync 2 is rock solid. I can fly everywhere. In fact, I just put a video up, I don't know if you saw it, where I flew around the construction of a new condo that they're building downtown. And I flew that from up by the bridge, which is about 1.5 miles away.
Wow.
And not a glitch, not a nothing, not a hesitation.
Michael's rubbing off on you. 1.5 miles away.
I try and hope Michael rubs off on the rest of us a little bit more. He scares the hell out of me when he's down and he's on the 2nd warning for battery, and he turns and says, "Oh, I see something. Let's go over and check that out." I'm yelling at the screen, "Michael, land! Michael, land!"
Yeah, that's right. He's distracted even with no battery.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Paul. There's been several times where I thought he was going to lose his drone.
Yeah.
I yell at the screen. I'm literally yelling at the screen, and the neighbor next door's knocking on the wall. Shut up! This is like late at night for me.
Well, and I've told him that on the phone several times, and that's why you'll hear him chuckle and say, "Yeah, okay, Paul, I'll get it down. Yeah, eventually I'll get there. Don't worry, Paul." It's like, I am worried, Michael.
Yeah, and he'll sit there and he'll go, he's down to like 2% battery. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm going to change the warning to 1%.
Yeah.
Land the bird, for crying out loud, Mike.
Well, he's gotten himself into a situation. Michael doesn't have a lot of money. He does real well for what he has. But he's got, and I know he loves the battery that you sent him, and different people have sent him a battery. But the number of flights he does, all of his other batteries, he's got 3 other batteries, and they're all, as soon as he puts it in the air, the batteries just go boom down. And the way he flies, he can't do that. So I said, Michael, you're going to have to buy some more batteries. Now, last night, I don't know if a lot of you know this, Michael was contacted, about 2 or 3 weeks ago by a production company that was flying into Philadelphia to get some drone night shots. And they brought in a production crew of about 10 or 12 people. And they wanted Michael to be their advisor, since they've said his flying is just fantastic. And so he was with them last evening, I think from about 8 o'clock until like 1 o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
Then
he called me. He called me last night, and
Yeah.
because I had texted him about doing the sunrise streams, and I didn't know that he was going up in the balloon today. And he texted me and then called me. He says, "Hey, you're going to have to lead us off on the sunrise because
Yeah,
I'm doing this production, working with these production people."
yeah,
And I thought
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. Well, it gives him experience. It gets his name out there. I mean, these guys do all kinds of work, both commercially, but PBS, CBS, and all the big companies. So once he gets his name out there, I said, the next thing you got to do, Michael, though, is if you want to get paid, you got to get your 107.
Yes.
He
Yes.
says, I know. I said, Michael, if there's a ton of people out there that aren't any smarter than you are that have got their 107, I think he's worried about a failure.
Well, you just try again, right?
Yep.
That might be part of his depression and things like that, because I suffered with that for years, and you just have problems with thinking you're good enough or whatever. You have doubt. And with this movie Bizzo that he's getting connected up with, they get very lazy. They have a black book. If your name's in it, they call you. They don't. They're not fickle. I worked with a production over 10 years for different movies because I was part of a social club and I was the president there. And they used to contact me all the time. I had Russell Crowe. I had I was drinking a beer with Russell Crowe. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Famous movie people that would part of the set that they would frequent our area because it was perfect for movie making. It was cheap. It was close to the city. And it was a lot of fun watching movies being made.
Yeah, well, I would totally agree, Trevor, that it's a situation. I'm sure Michael it's a struggle for anybody that has an addiction or a problem or a situation, and he doesn't want to be put in the path of any possible failure. So therefore, because he would take it twice as hard as Rodney, you and I would just say, okay, well, I'll just take it again. But he's liable to go into a big depression. So
yes, that's right. It took me 4 months to get my video. It took me 4 months to be seen on YouTube. Once I had done it, it was a piece of cake, and I just did not care.
Yeah, he called me last night before going to meet the production company, and I coached him earlier. What
Paul,
was that?
let me interrupt you a minute.
Okay.
I want to say good morning to my granddaughter, Allison Bell. She just joined the chat.
There you go.
Sweetie.
Morning, granddaughter.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
Guys, I'll see you guys later. I got to run.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Okay, Kevin. Don't feel bad, Rodney, about interrupting us because Trevor and I can talk.
Yes, for sure. And I've slowed down to what I used to.
No problem. I do want to say hi. I think Daddy of 13 has joined the chat. Drive Shaft Drew.
And that's Patrick.
Again, my granddaughter Allison has joined. So.
Yeah, I think everybody knows Michael, and then they wish him the best.
Yes, that's it. We give him all the support.
Oh yeah, Michael's a good guy. I really get a big kick out of him, really.
He's just got to believe and understand that there's a lot of other people out there with the same condition, and he's not alone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you stop and think about the things that he's gone through and the things that he's overcome, you just got to be in awe of the guy. That takes a lot of effort.
It does.
What he has done.
Some things it's like for myself, it was an effort just getting out of bed.
Yep.
And just facing the world. Because my depression when I was in a coma, because they gave me some crazy medication, they actually gave me worse effects and they had to wean me off of it. Like I was having dreams every 5 seconds trying to kill people. And that's just not who I am. And that affects you pretty rough. It affects just your life, that you don't want to even cross streets or go to parties or go and mingle with people. I was just a recluse. I'd stay indoors and wouldn't even venture outside.
Hey guys, I'm gonna see if my granddaughter wants to come in on the chat.
There you go.
Hey Allison,
She was a
Yeah.
delight the other week.
there's the link for the chat if you want to come in. It's just click on that. I always like to let her get on.
Sure. Well,
Oh.
Trevor and I will be very respectful, and we won't hog the show.
Yes, we'll be respectful.
Well, I don't know that she'll come on, but I always want to give her the chance. Besides, I got a question I do want to ask her.
And it gives you opportunity to see her more as well, Rodney, which is good because you live a long distance.
Yeah, I think we got a FaceTime chat today. That's one of the questions I want to ask her. We were doing it twice a week, and then it started interfering with her sports and music practices. So we're trying to work it out to where we'll do it at least once a week.
Later, it's going to be boys and a lot of other excuses.
Yeah, it's hard on Grandpa because you've been there for her all the time, and yet she's going to blossom and have a social life that.
That's right.
So I don't know. She may not be in the chat anymore.
Yeah, she
It
might.
might have been for
Hello.
someone. Exactly, Paul.
So, but anyway, yeah, there was one chat. She came on, and her brothers and her sister all showed their faces to us. So
Yeah, they did.
I
'Cause
think
it was their first time too. They had to pluck up the courage.
so. But anyway, yeah. So Michael looked like he was having a good time on that balloon.
Yeah, and I can't believe it because he didn't get home till 3:00, and he doesn't just go right to sleep. He can get
No.
home to 3:00, and then he had to leave to go and meet them at 5:00. So he was home for 2 hours.
Yeah, and he even said that he hadn't been asleep yet. But the guy he must just run on pure adrenaline.
Well, it's got to be. I don't know. Did you catch the interview or he was co-hosting with Brenda Klein yesterday?
No, I didn't catch that.
Because yesterday morning he went and did a test flight of the buildings that these guys wanted to go around because they want to get certain shots. They didn't want to have a certain building in the shot, just the two main buildings. So he did a test shot, and he was live while he was doing it, Michael. And he says, "Hey, I haven't eaten this morning yet, and I'm starting to get a little shaky, whatever." So then he goes home. On the way home, he stops and gets a coffee. That's it. Goes home, and Brenda's live. He gets on live with Brenda, and about an hour into the show, all of a sudden, he starts acting a little different, and you could see that he was crashing because his sugar level was going down. And he leaned back in his chair, and he says, "Whoa, the whole place is spinning." And now he's home alone. And Brenda and I were each about ready to call 911 in Philadelphia because, as we all know, because he really thinks, and I keep telling him that's not what's going to happen. He thinks all you do is pass out and you wake up, just like if you passed out from drinking. And I said, no, your body is shutting down. They'd find you dead in the afternoon there, or in a coma. And so
That's right.
So it was interesting because both Brenda, she's like 3 hours away from him. I'm about 8 or 9 hours away, and we're watching this unfold on his end, and it's like not good.
Yeah, that's
because he's so focused on losing that weight, losing the weight, so he's not eating.
Or not.
yeah, he's got to eat. I mean, I understand he wants to lose weight and he's doing well at it, but you can't let yourself not eat entirely. So
No, especially when what the correct terminology is, he suffers from low sugar. He doesn't have diabetes, normal diabetes, where it's high sugar levels. He suffers from his sugar levels crash. And also before he went on with Brenda, he went and did 2 miles on the treadmill, and he didn't eat.
oh man.
He says, I gotta burn it off.
Like when I was trying to lose weight and I was doing a lot of weightlifting and whatnot, your mind actually convinces you that you need to do all that without.
Yep.
The brain is a funny thing. All I used to live on is skim milk because it gave me some form of energy levels and gave me some nutritional value. But all of a sudden, your brain gets a high as well when you're not eating.
Yep.
And then till you crash.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it was scary, but it resolved itself, and both Brenda and I gave him heck. And then I made sure I told Sharon the same thing happened, and she gave him heck.
well, it's a good thing he has friends because that's nothing to mess with, diabetes.
No.
I mean, I had my first experience with low blood sugar. I was just sitting in bed watching television, and my wife and daughter-in-law or stepdaughter was in the kitchen, and I was sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden I just felt weird.
Yep.
You do.
Things were blurry.
Yep.
I just didn't feel. I felt dizzy. And I got up and I walked out, and I told him, I said, something's not right. Something's not right. And I'm like staggering, and my wife gave me some juice and got me calmed down and stuff. And then I realized, so I started carrying juice in my truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I carried usually like a 6-pack of apple juice and a 6-pack of orange juice.
Yeah.
I'd like to switch it up, but it's
nothing to mess with.
Nope, nothing to mess with at all.
A few months back, I was playing a tournament cards, poker, and I was going through a low sugar state, and I was going through all sorts of problems. I was shaking, I was shivering. I wanted to win this tournament because I had so many stacks by then when I was feeling good, and I didn't want to waste it. I ended up winning, but I went straight to hospital, straight from the poker tournament, and they left me in there in hospital for 2 days. That's how crook I got. It's not good.
Well, a lot of people don't know about you, Trevor, that you are the ultimate card shark. Trevor, they could make a movie about Trevor because he goes and gambles and he always wins.
There was this one guy at the tournament. They said I should do a YouTube channel because doing it the Manic Magic way, because I play different to everyone, and I do have a lot of wins, a lot of tournaments. All my YouTube stuff is being purchased from poker, and because what I do is I don't gamble to chase money. I gamble just to chase cards.
Yeah.
If there's cards to be chased, I take risks, but I don't chase money. So what I win is what I win. If I lose, I fold, and I'm out of it.
Yep, that's why I affectionately called you a card shark, not a money shark, a card shark, because it's the game that you're playing. You're focused on the game.
Exactly. Like I played 6-4 crazy cards. No one would play that when the stakes were so high, and everyone else had pocket like aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, and I needed one card only. And I showed my mate beside me because he was out of the game, and he made a statement. He says, and he's seen everyone else's cards because we were playing socially then. There was still money at stake. It says, and he made the assumption. He says the only person that should not be in this hand is Trevor. Everyone else, I've seen their cards and they're looking good. I needed one card on the river and one card only, and the 4 come out, and I had 6-2 to make a straight. I only had 3 cards in the pack to chase, and the 4 come. I wiped out all those 3 players because they all went in, and that took me to final table, and then I won final table. No one could. After that, no one could get me because the blinds were that high. I had that many chips in front of me. I could just call on anything. I was playing like 5, 8, 5, 6 crazy cards.
Trevor, you must have developed a reputation by now. There's probably certain people that know you says I'm not playing cards with him.
Well, that is, some of my friends, they say, Trevor, you just shit me, and they get really angry and leave. And some of them sit outside while they're having a cigarette or a drink to watch my car just in case someone smashes it.
I'll be right back, guys.
Because they get so angry against me, some of them. Like there was one guy about 3-4 weeks ago. I never seen him until come back. He never came back for 3 weeks because he had pocket kings. I had pocket 9s. I chased it all the way to the river. I knew he had pocket kings. I could actually see it. I have some sort of ability to see cards at times. Doesn't happen all the time. And the 9 come out in the river, and he went all in. I went all in. And he said, I said, you've got kings. He says, how do you know I've got kings? He got angry. I said, I've got pocket 9s, and the 9s come out in the river. I've got you, buddy. And I rub it in. I rub it in because it's a tactic. So it scares all the other people that are playing too, because then they just got no hope, or they feel they got no hope.
Am I locked on my? Hello?
No, the rest of us are quiet, I think. I don't.
Oh, because I'm sitting here typing away, and I look up, and there I am. I was expecting to see you guys. I'm typing a message to Mason, and then I'm gonna go get some coffee. So I'll blank out the screen and be right back after that.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to. Did it switch to me, or is it locked on you?
No, it switched to you.
Okay.
Who else is in chat? How you going, everyone?
Let's see. There's Mason Kieser, Daddy of 13, Nacho Rolling is still in the house. Peter Carroll, I think, is. Oh no,
How you going, Peter?
Peter Carroll left. He said bedtime for him. Have a great evening. I missed that. Sorry, I missed that. Let's see.
Everyone, be sure to hit the like button for Rodney if you're coming or going. Don't forget.
I think Nature's Beauty's still in the house.
Sonia.
Yeah, she just hangs out in the chat. If sometimes she'll come on.
I think
Nature's Beauty got a new action cam from DJI, I believe, and she had a few problems. It was overheating, and because I don't think she's had one of that sort or any of action cams in general, she was a bit concerned. But we reassured her to not play it in 4K and knock it down a couple of 1080 or whatever, and it will help it out a bit. So
yeah. From Love My Drones just came in.
How you going?
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
No worries, Rodney.
Okay.
So, Sonia from Nature's Beauty, she's going to be doing a bit of vlogging soon. That would be exciting to see what she can come up with, and we'll all give her a support.
Yeah, good for her. I look forward to seeing that.
Yep.
you know, there's so many people, the billions of people that are on the internet. Everybody has something to say. Some people do it better and spend the money and spend a lot of money on the production. But personally, I think that even the simplistic way of getting online, it works. You know,
There's this
it's
one
whatever.
lady that's got 16,000 subscribers, and she does everything out of her camper van because
Yep.
that's her channel. She lives in a camper van, but she does it in a very hygienic manner. We have a term here called feral. Some of them get very feral because they just don't have the hygienic approach to it all. And she does all the reviews
Right.
on how to be hygienic while living in a van, a small van. And she runs all her videos, does everything off of her mobile phone. She does all the editing, everything, all on her mobile phone, her live streams, and it all copes.
I get a kick out of those people that are living out of vans and motorhomes. It's the kind of the mobile life. There's a bunch of those. Camper Van Kevin and Manic. So there's another Manic on the Move or something, and there's different people with different. Any interest that you have, I'm sure that there is a YouTube channel that would talk about it.
Yep. Like one of her channels was her vids was all about how to make do with kitty litter to use for a toilet, and it was all about poop and all the poop jokes that were coming across the live stream because that's all she was talking about was poop and how to make her poop smell better with running into Costco or whatever to grab some kitty litter just to as a go-between. And reviewing it to show that it worked and it was successful.
Yeah. Daddy of 13 asked me the windiest weather that I would fly in. And usually I draw the line somewhere around 30, 35 miles an hour. But it starts gusting up to 40, 45, then I don't fly it. But 30, 35 I have flown in. And it's not as much fun because you got to take into consideration your up your battery and if you have to go against the wind to get back to safety or not. But yeah, what I find is the interesting part is, you know, some of the big drones I used to fly, Trevor, is they were they had a lot more power, less battery power because they consume battery more. But
yeah,
the interesting part is now that I'm flying the Mavic 2 profile, they seem to be more aerodynamic. The only problem you have is the more the wind, the more they tilt, the harder they work, you know, type of thing. But yeah.
Daddy of 13, it's Patrick, is it? If you can, I'm sure it's Patrick. I believe he's just got a new drone from his wife. I think she gave him a new drone for a gift. If that's true, and they correct me wrong if it's not. And how's that working out for you? I'm just going to check into chat so I can actually see your comments.
Well, I know Daddy of 13. He has a hard time in the evening or on the weekends because every once in a while you'll see he'll get on a live stream, but there's so much going on in his life with the family and everything that he just can't find the time. So, Trevor, are you going to be doing any fly? What time is it where you are?
It's currently is 10:30 p.m. at night. So tomorrow morning, I think I'll get out the drone because we're getting some good weather the next couple of days.
Good.
And then it's going to come back and rain again.
Yeah, that's what we just had. It was kind of nice weather, and I'm tracking those ships, and now it's starting off to the west. It's starting to get dark and cloudy. We're supposed to have rain swooping down. It's supposed to be 60 to 70% rain today, so I think I've already had my 40 to 30% good weather is probably just passed by. But sadly, there's 5 ships coming down, and they're north of me about 60 miles, and they're coming down at about 12 to 13 knots. And out of the 5 or 6 ships, 3 of them are salties, which are more colorful, and the design is different. So it would have been nice to have been able to get those, but I don't think the weather's going to cooperate. Plus, when it gets real dark and cloudy, what I've noticed, Trevor, is the video turns out okay, but
Yeah,
sunny.
that's right. You need a little bit more. See, over here in Australia, we've got to actually rely on our filters, else it just gets washed out.
Yeah.
Because we have such bright sunlight here most of the year. As we very rarely get cloudy days, we will get very rarely get rain. Where I'm living, anyway, at least.
So does that cause a lot of dust and things there because it's
dry?
A
lot of dust. Yeah, a lot of dust. Whether you're near the ocean or anything, because we don't have very much humidity. Humidity allows the dust to settle. Like in Queensland, they don't have as much dust in the around the ocean areas in the humidity parts, but closer in the centre of Australia they do. But it's always dust here. I've got to vacuum my desk and everything all the time to get rid of the dust. That's why I have this little portable vacuum cleaner that you may see on my videos where I use for my art. I use it for everything.
So, Sonia, am I understanding you've got an Osmo Pocket now?
It could be actually the cam. I'm not sure.
I was just noticing in the chat a discussion she was having with Les about. It says, "Congrats, Sonia. Can't wait to see videos with the Osmo." So
she may have the actual new action cam.
Oh, the action cam. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It
was overheating for her a couple of days ago.
I'm sorry?
It was overheating on her a couple of days ago. And she was very concerned.
Well, the Osmo Pocket gets hot too.
Yes. And so did the Osmo Mobile.
Yeah.
Greg from Osby Drone did a quick video, or a live stream it was, in fact, where he was putting a heat meter on it, and it was getting very, very hot. It was getting like 63 degrees Celsius, which is very, very hot.
That'd be like 150 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
Is that a flaw in the manufacturing, or is that a normal?
Yes, he had to send it back and get it replaced.
Okay.
It was very new item. It was when they came out in the market new.
You got one of the first ones, probably, huh?
Yes,
I got you. Okay.
But he was very concerned, and his videos that he pops up quickly out of the blue are usually about Telstra, which is our phone company he always complains about. No, this one was DJI, which was rare.
Yeah. Out of all the Osmos I've had, I think probably the Osmo Plus is the one I should have hung on to, because it had the zoom camera on it. It was very stable, and for my big paws, it fit my hand better. That Pocket is like, I was afraid I was going to break it, or I couldn't. The little mini screen. It was like, I don't thread needles very well either. And so it's like
you put your finger on the mini screen and you move it maybe a micro inch.
Yep.
1 millimeter or something.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, I've been toying with the idea of getting an Osmo Pocket. I like the fact that the Osmo Pocket is on the gimbal. That's why I'm thinking that, you know, it's what's steering me away from the Sport, the
Yeah.
Osmo Sport. Though I do like what I've been seeing with that. So if they come out with a gimbal for it, that might be it might be worth getting then. But I like the fact because when me and my wife go traveling somewhere, I like to be able to take videos. And we went to West Virginia here a few months back, and I was holding my Sony video camera, you know, and it makes for a bumpy ride sometimes. But
Yeah.
If you do, Rodney, let me know, and I'll send some really good links of other people's reviews on some of the cheap accessories they have that aid the Osmo Pocket, because the problem that the Osmo Pocket is it doesn't have a replaceable battery.
Yes.
So there is tricks of the trade to actually sort that out, and doing something dual use where they have actual now that they have actual way a thing that you can clip over the bottom of the Osmo Pocket, so you can screw on accessory. And what that does is there's this actual battery charger thing where it actually is it gives you extra battery inside of a cylinder that screws onto it. What that does is it aids as a handle as well, so you as an extension. So you can actually use it as an extension and have the gimbal as well as gives you extra life in your battery.
okay.
So there's a whole heap of accessories that you can get now, which had to wait till at least 3 weeks till after it all come out. And I've got links to that to make your life easier, and it's not that much more expense. So yeah, there's some good things out there that you can aid your Osmo Pocket.
I'd like to say good morning to Green Patches, who just joined the chat.
Hi, Green Patches.
How you doing today, Green Patches? So, but yeah, it's been a hard decision to make because I keep going to Amazon, I keep looking, and I'm like, well, do I want this one or do I want this one? And then I don't want it. You know, 2 days later, do I want this one? Do I want that one? I can't. I hate buying for myself because I always manage to talk myself out of stuff.
Well, depending upon what kind of smartphone you have, Rodney, you know, a phone gimbal might work too.
Well, I actually have a phone gimbal. The problem is my phone will only take 10 minutes of video at a time.
Really, it won't take a bigger card?
No, I mean it'll take several videos, but it only does it in 10-minute spurts.
So does it do it seamlessly?
No, not really.
Because see, my Mavic 2, when I put it up and I fly like between 6 and 7 minutes, and if let's say I fly 12 or 14 minutes, it will, when I download it, I'll get 2 files. They're seamless, but 2 files, 2 video files. So then I have to, when I put them in the editor, I just put one and then the other.
No, my phone, it's not seamless because it actually stops and then you have to restart the video again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I bought one of those smooth cues by Zuon smooth cue
Yeah.
gimbals, and it's great if I'm just doing short videos at a time, it works great. So, but
Well, the only thing I was thinking is, and I don't know that much about phones because that's not my area of expertise by any means. Is a lot of people are using their phone for what you're talking about doing because it also allows them to live stream right from the phone
yeah,
without having to run it through another device to get it to live stream if you ever wanted to do that.
right. Yeah. Well, I've thought about doing that.
So maybe you might want to talk to whoever you have for carrier and say, tell them what you may want to do and that you may want to use a gimbal on it. What phone would be best for that? And let them just suggest it. You don't have to buy it, but just say, would that do what I wanted to do and make it easier on me?
Yeah, just a bit of groundwork, homework. See, my experience was I purchased 2 gimbals for a mobile phone from Osmo, and I a Nugeric brand, but they didn't arrive in the post. They were slow boat to China. I ended up getting them reimbursed, one by the company and one by the postal service because they sent it to the wrong address. So I got my money back on both of them, but by then I got the Osmo camera, and with the gimbal axis and everything, and I did a review on that on my channel, and I've never looked back. I'm very happy with it, and I'm not even running it at its full performance. It was meant to be that I wasn't going to use my mobile because by then I got it cheap on eBay all of a sudden out of the blue, and it was only from Adelaide, which is only a couple hours from where I am. So I got it very cheap. So I'm very happy with what I have.
I want to welcome back from the sky into the chat, and also Love My Drones. He popped in here a little bit ago. Either one of you, if you want to join the stream, I posted the link in the chat. Feel free to join if you want to join the panel, and otherwise enjoy the chat.
It looks like Mason said there's storm warnings happening with large hail and high winds, and we'll have tornado warnings too.
Oh,
that's not very good, Mason.
He lives there in Missouri, and of course that whole area of the country is just being.
They just don't get a break.
Nah, they haven't gotten a break for 2 weeks. Newfound Drone Productions, welcome to the stream.
I couldn't imagine having to rebuild after a tornado. I mean, we have enough problems here in Australia with bushfires, where every season we have major bushfires in certain other areas of Australia, and they have to rebuild. Some along the line will have to rebuild every year or move and then rebuild. It's the same deal.
I just saw a news on evening news or one of the news channels. They interviewed a lady that her house is now flooded completely out.
Terrible.
In Missouri or Oklahoma. And she moved there after the hurricane destroyed her house down on the Gulf.
See, they're moving. It's almost like homeless people moving with their shopping trolley and moving with all their belongings to a worse place.
Yep.
It's a similar metaphor. It's terrible having to move into the same situation.
Yep.
It's sad.
So, yeah. Trevor, do you guys have anything like tornadoes out there in Australia?
Not where I am, but in the northern area where my brother lives up in Cairns, in the north of Queensland, in the area where Matthew North, up in his area, a little bit higher north of him, they have We call them cyclones.
Cyclones.
Okay.
Yeah, they're different because the way that they work are different. They actually diminish once they hit land. They need the ocean to build up energy, and once they get to the coast closer, once they get over the land, they just flatten out.
Well, yeah, and I would imagine that's the same scenario like with hurricanes and cyclones, where they sweep over islands. They'll reduce a little bit, but they get to water fast. Where
Yes.
Australia is so big that it kills them.
Yes, that's exactly why. But it gets affected very deep inland, like right in Central Australia. It affects them that badly, that far in. So we do get the aftermath. But where I am, because I'm so central in Australia, any aftermath only gives us high winds, which are not crippling.
Do you ever
So
get
we're lucky.
do you ever get rain heavy enough to cause any kind of minor flooding?
Yeah, we get minor flooding, but I'm in an area where it's where we're in high ground.
Okay.
But we've got other areas where they get flash flooding going sweeping through where our river system is, and they can get very large, closer to the coast, that is, though. Because
would that, Trevor, would that aid the gators in moving around?
we don't have gators where we are. They only have them in the north.
Oh, okay.
They're like 10 hours away from where we live. We don't have gators.
You just have snakes and things?
We have the snake spiders. We have sharks and large crabs.
Sharks and large crabs. What more?
Large crabs.
That almost sounds like a social disease.
Where I used to be the president at this local social club, which was Port Parham, and that was a crabbing beach. And that was our recreational and professional lifestyle up there. And our motto was, you can always catch crabs at Port Parham. And it had a drawing on the back of the T-shirt of a toilet seat. And that's all it said. How to catch crabs at Port Parham with a toilet seat. And nothing needed to be added to that. People knew what you were talking about.
Hey, we've had some new people join the chat. Green Patches, Fairy God Monster. Thank you Thank you to both of you for coming in. We got RC Funds Diversions. He's in. I think that's about all of them. Of course, we still have Love My Drones and Sonia, Nature's Beauty. Mason Keiser still in the house. Newfound Drone Productions.
Mason just said they have some beautiful women here in Australia. Well, I think they have some beautiful women all over the world.
Good morning. Yeah. Daddy 13 is in the panel.
How are you getting on?
Hey,
how you going?
What is your first name?
Kevin.
Oh, it's Kevin, not Patrick. Sorry, Kevin.
Okay.
I was busy trying to smash plates and everything going on there. Oh God.
So we've got a representative from the United Kingdom and a representative from the land down under on the panel. That's awesome.
Yes.
There you go.
How are we all getting on?
So what T-shirt are you sporting there, Kevin?
Oh no, it's just one the wife bought me.
Oh, okay.
Drone calling. I must go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm so glad your wife supports your habit.
Oh well, I don't know about that, but yeah, she's getting there.
Yeah.
They said to me that one of my daughter's friends were wanting to know about a small like whoop drone or something, FPV. And I was going, oh, I don't know. I'll have a look and see what it is. And I was asking some boys the questions. was asking Kim questions and Hadley, and
Yep.
it was about to get me something, you see, for my birthday. And then she goes, "Oh, you're not much help." And I goes, "Well, if he's not, just get him to get the one I really want was the Zoom, you know, the Mavic Zoom." But you've already got the
Right.
other one. And I went, well, I says, "Well, yeah, I know, but I would quite like the Zoom, you know." I says, "But that, I know it's really expensive, so I'm not gonna." But it was for me.
Oh, it's a yes.
So I think I'm getting the Zoom for my birthday. So
Oh, that's nice.
here's hoping.
Well, you won't be disappointed with what people have
Kevin?
said.
Yes.
Kevin, Rodney, and Trevor, I'm going to have to step away. I kind of promised to be someplace, and I like to spread a little bit myself.
Oh, you certainly know how to do
But-
that, Paul.
No problem there, Paul. You go do what you need.
Hey,
to do,
Rodney,
brother.
it's always great to be on here with you and Kevin and Trevor and I'm sure you guys will carry on without me and stay safe, fly safe, and pray for nice weather.
Oh yeah, definitely need some of that.
All right, Paul. Well, you
Yeah.
have a good day. Have a good weekend as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and maybe go get those. I'm gonna try and get those ships.
All
And
right.
Oh, I've got a quick,
enjoy your brownies.
Paul. I've got
What
a
was
quick
that,
question.
Kevin?
Got a quick question. I'm quite dubious of flying in the wind. What's the windiest weather you've flown in?
35-mile-an-hour wind.
So, and it handles really well.
Yeah, well, you have to know what you're doing because there's calculations you got to do in your mind. When you're flying the higher winds, you got to calculate where the direction of the wind is.
Yeah.
You got to calculate, how fast do you want to push it through there? Because the harder you try to push it into the wind, the more that drone's going to articulate down to push into the wind, and then you're going to use more and more of your battery power.
Right.
And then you also have to calculate and watch your battery levels to make sure if you're coming into the wind that you've got enough battery to get back from wherever you're flying, wherever you end up.
Okay.
Now, if you fly upwind, then you can pretty much coast back.
Yeah. Okay.
Always fly into the wind, so you've got when you come back, the wind's coming behind you.
Yeah.
So because that will aid you at least 10% of battery life to come back, and then you don't get so frightened. So if you do your preparation, then there's less failures.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. If you're going to go look at something that's permanent, you're gonna like fly a structure or whatever. But in my case with the ships, sometimes they're going into the wind, sometimes they're going against the wind. So I have to, in my mind, I have to kind of keep that in mind all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And side winds can be quite a factor as well, because especially if you try to fly over water, you may have some coastal winds out there, and with the wind coming from the south or the west or wherever on the side, on your flank is the term, that can affect your time coming back. So it's not always headwinds or tailwinds.
Winds can definitely affect your shot. If you notice when I do the ships, I will side slide down the side of them and then pan around the front. Well, obviously, when I'm side sliding, it's not going to be able to handle as much wind and keep speed going as it does if you're going forward or backwards. So you get it to a point, if the winds are high enough, all of a sudden you start maybe moving at the same side of the ship and you're not progressing to get ahead. So you have to kind of get it back into where you're getting the forward motion, get around, then swing around again.
Yeah.
So it's all a learning process. The more you do it, the better you'll get.
Yeah, it's just always been kind of scared to fly in the wind, so.
And plus, CGI do have wind warnings, and if you get there, just land.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Paul.
All right, you guys have a good one. I'll see ya.
Have a good one, Paul.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, guys. Hey, I think I'm going to have to end it right now. I got some things to do. I've been on not quite 2 hours, but close enough. Sorry.
Thanks for letting me come on for a few minutes.
Hey, anytime, anytime. I'm going to try and do this every Saturday. You start around 7:30. A lot of it, the time I start actually depends on when my wife leaves for work.
Are you planning, Rodney, to do a sunrise next week as well?
Yeah. We're going to Phil, Michael, myself, and Les, Exploration Obsession. We're going to do on Saturdays what Paul and Philly Drone Life and Dennis Lovelady and Chris and
That'd be great because
Natural do on Sundays.
that'd be
So
great.
it's kind of a spin-off from that. So
Yeah. So I'll try to be available a little bit earlier than to catch all your streams.
well, I know you guys in the land down under, I mean, you're like a day ahead of us most of the time, all the time.
We're in the future. All your streams.
But if you can be there, man, love to have you.
I'll be available, yeah, for sure. It's just that I wasn't aware that you were doing that, but I was prepared for this stream.
Well, I'm glad you were, brother. Alice, I see Allison's back in the chat. Hi, sweetie. Are we on for our FaceTime today, Allison? You have a good one too, back from the sky. Appreciate you stopping in. In fact, thank you all for stopping in. Daddy of 13, glad you came by, joined the panel. Good to have you.
Yeah,
Trevor, always good to see you here.
Yes.
And
Good to see you, Kevin.
no problem. You all take care, okay?
you too.
And,
Have a good
Kevin, I
one.
know what it's like coming from a big family. So I know what it's like pulling your hair out.
I'm hearing the screaming in the background there, so I'm sure something's happening.
I can relate to that.
Oh, non-stop.
All righty. Well,
Okay,
Kevin,
bye.
you take care. I remember seeing your first video, how awestruck I was that you had 13 kids.
Oh,
That was amazing.
yeah. Oh, they're a bunch and a half, right enough. But I wouldn't change any of them.
Have you got the door locked right now?
No, it's actually on. It's just open a wee bit, just so I can hear what's going on. In case my wife's needing some help.
Because when I lived in a big family, my mother never ever got any peace unless she was on the outhouse.
Oh, God. That's what I'm like, in the toilet and there with my phone.
Outhouses. You also have outhouses out there in Australia, do you?
Oh yeah, we still have outhouses in Australia. In fact, they're very common. Often we have a toilet inside, but they have outhouses for, say, the men folk that might do tinkering or out in the farm. It's just a bit closer and a little bit more convenient.
Yeah. I can still remember my grandmother and grandfather in Catoosa, Oklahoma. They had an outhouse that had it was a 3-holer.
Oh yeah, yep.
Because they had 7 kids, so
Yeah.
Oh,
They would have been in the same deal as us.
You can only imagine the line outside.
Yep. So thanks for having us, Rodney.
Well,
you're welcome, Trevor. Again, to both of you.
We've got 2 toilets here, and I'll tell you, it's still a struggle to get into sometimes.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Bang the door. Come on.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming in. I do appreciate you coming in and joining the stream.
A big hand to everyone.
Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you again next Saturday. Don't forget, Philly Drone Life, myself, and Exploration Obsession will be doing sunrise live streams on Saturday mornings. And please don't forget the boys on Sunday morning live streams for the sunrise. Hopefully they'll have better sunrises than we did this morning. Anyway, you all have a good one.
You too, buddy.
See you, everyone.
See ya.